How has the recent Hamas-Israel conflict affected the bustling startup scene in Israel? This question has been on the minds of many, as the war has brought about a significant shift in the day-to-day operations of these innovative companies. Many startup founders and employees have temporarily stepped away from their business roles to throw their support behind the military and those deeply impacted by the ongoing conflict. Some have taken on voluntary roles in the Israeli Defense Forces, while others are channeling their efforts into fundraising and securing donations. The tech industry, with its high concentration of workers, has seen many of its own called up for active duty. But even in the midst of these challenges, a number of startups are pressing on, with their employees juggling military duties and work responsibilities. The Israeli startup community is not just surviving, but contributing significantly to the war effort. Using their expertise in complex data processing and cyber defense, these startups are providing valuable support. Some founders have handed over leadership to their co-founders temporarily, while others rely heavily on their teams to ensure business continuity. In the face of adversity, the Israeli tech community is stepping up, utilizing their skills and resources to support their country. In the midst of conflict, they remain determined to continue their missions and contribute towards their nation's resilience. In an era where information is king, how is the Israel-Hamas conflict being affected by the prevalence of false information on social media platforms? In our digital age, the phenomenon of misinformation is rapidly transforming the landscape of news consumption. Social media platforms, once hailed as the new frontier for news, are increasingly shifting away from hard-hitting content. Instead, they're favoring softer topics such as celebrity gossip, fashion, and hot takes. This shift is largely driven by the belief that news content brings more scrutiny, negativity, and integrity risks, without offering significant engagement or revenue in return. This retreat from news content has opened the floodgates for misinformation to seep into our digital discourse. Fact verification online is a challenging task, even for the most advanced AI technologies. As a result, social media companies are reducing their content moderation teams and relying more heavily on AI chatbots, creating an environment ripe for the spread of false narratives. The recent Israel-Hamas conflict is a stark example of this. The digital battleground is rife with false information, creating a parallel conflict of narratives that further complicates the situation on the ground. Some experts even advise news organizations and journalists to avoid social media platforms altogether, as attempts to debunk misinformation can inadvertently amplify its spread. In response to this, some social media platforms are taking steps to monitor and remove posts related to the conflict. Yet, the specifics of these efforts remain unclear. Are they doing enough? Do the algorithms truly discern truth from falsehood? Or is this another layer of censorship cloaked in the guise of responsibility? As the digital world grapples with the spread of misinformation, the pursuit of truth becomes even more essential. In the age of misinformation, it's crucial to remember that the real casualties are not just facts, but the people affected by actions fueled by these falsehoods. It's a reminder that, in the pursuit of truth, we must strive to be not just consumers, but discerning evaluators of the information we encounter. What are the ripple effects of the Hamas-Israel conflict on the global economy? Let's delve into that. The conflict has led to significant fluctuations in the global oil market. It's a delicate balance. The slightest disruption can cause prices to spike, and that's exactly what happened. The conflict's uncertainty led to jumps in oil prices, pushing the world to look towards countries like Saudi Arabia for increased supply. Simultaneously, we've seen a drop in Israel's currency. The shekel took a hit as the war raged on, reflecting the economic strain the conflict has put on the nation. But as is often the case in times of war, defense sector stocks have surged. Investors are looking to capitalize on the escalating demand for defense and security technologies. But it's not just about immediate financial shifts. Renowned billionaire Ray Dalio has warned of mounting debt and geopolitical risks, particularly in U.S. stocks. The conflict's repercussions extend beyond the immediate players, influencing global markets and economies. The Israel-Hamas conflict is a stark reminder of how localized conflicts can have far-reaching impacts on the global economy. As we have seen, the Israel-Hamas conflict has far-reaching implications, affecting not only those directly involved but also the global economy and the digital information landscape. Israeli startups, amidst the turmoil, have shown resilience and adaptability, with founders and employees juggling their business operations and military duties. They continue to use their skills and expertise in the tech industry to support their country's war efforts. In the digital realm, the conflict has highlighted how misinformation can proliferate on social media platforms. This issue of misinformation is not isolated to this conflict alone, but is a global concern that requires attention. The move away from news content by social media platforms, coupled with the rise of AI chatbots and the reduction of content moderation teams, have exacerbated the spread of false information. On the economic front, the conflict has ripple effects on the global economy, with impacts on the oil market, defense sector stocks, and more. This demonstrates how regional tensions can reverberate on a global scale, affecting markets and economies far removed from the conflict zone. In these challenging times, the need for accurate information and global cooperation is more critical than ever. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay safe.